good to once in a while in this life sit back and understand what is going on. Even if you live to be 70 years, that's 25,550 days. If you live to be 100, that's only 36,500 days. You were born, and one day you have to go. Being born was the culmination of all these things that are around me. The oxygen, the hydrogen, carbon, calcium, nitrogen, and phosphorus. This is what we're made out of. All these elements came together. All this dirt, all this oxygen, all this air, all this water, all this stuff came together to create me. Me. You. Me. And now, all this is going back to where it came from. So it's not like this. It's like this. Where am I going? This is where I came from. So arrival was local, and the departure is also local. But it is this circle that separates the two. And this circle is called life. And it is the fundamental core backbone of this being called the self. You, me, the self. And then you, of course, hear, know thyself. And most people, and I can say this because I've been doing it for 50 years, so I got experience. Most people find that very mysterious, very philosophical. After all, Socrates was a philosopher, so philosophical. What is the practical thing of know thyself? I mean, what? Of course I know myself. My name is da-da-da, this is my cell phone number, this is my email. That's my cat, that's my dog, that's my house. That's my suit, that's my shoes, that's my belt. But think about it. If you truly knew yourself, you would know what all is in you. The good, the bad. But here comes the issue. Have you made your choices? Have you made your choices? Have you actually made, you are on this journey, if you want to call it journey or whatever, but you're in this ring now. You're born, obviously, and so life is afoot. Have you made your choices, by the way? Have you made your choices? Or are you ad hoc? You get up in the morning, I don't feel good. I don't like that guy. I don't like this. I don't like that. This is not right. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go. Or have you made your choices? Have you made your choices? It's a very, very interesting question. Have you made your choices? You're going to be living That's what the ring is. Are you going to live this life without making any choices? Or are you going to live this life with very particular set of choices? But how can you make the choices if you don't know what you have? So let me shed some light on what you have. You have in you ignorance, 50%. And you have in you knowledge, 50%. You have in you darkness, 50%. You have in you light, 50%. Don't give yourself too much credit. It's 50%. Don't go 49, 51. No, it's just not true. It's exactly 50%. And by the way, the 50% that you have is more than enough for you to live a life incredibly. Or that bad 50% is more than sufficient to destroy you. Totally. And you have both. You have both. You have in you fear. And you have in you courage. 50%. But if you truly know this, then you can make a choice. You can make a choice. I want, in my life, I want to choose courage, not fear. So, instead of living in beliefs, you have to start to live in the know, in the knowing, in the knowledge. And this takes courage. And that's the choice you have to make. Do I choose courage or do I choose the fear? Fear is easy, nothing doing. You'll just lie on the bed and keep imagining the monster, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and the fangs get bigger, the nails get bigger, the eyes get bigger, it gets more hungry, and it gets dangerous, and it's under your bed, and it's gonna eat you without the ketchup. But knowing. I want to know. I want to feel. Because one thing is very obvious. One thing is very, very obvious. Life is incredible. Life is precious. This breath is an incredible gift. Since you don't push a button for it, it is an incredible gift. It is given to you freely. Shouldn't you be filled with gratitude? Naturally? Are you? I ask too many questions. This life, should it not be filled with gratitude? But why isn't it? Why isn't it? Why is all this stuff that I'm talking about just not obvious? Shouldn't it be obvious? Why isn't it? Because maybe the choices have not been made. You had a phenomenal amount of courage. When you were a baby, you did something. You did not have college education. You were not a scientist. You were not a physiotherapist. You were not a doctor. You were not a psychologist. You were not a psychiatrist. You were not an athlete. And you were not an athletic coach. And you decided, you made a choice. You wanted to walk. So you tried. You tried. And it didn't work. It failed. You failed. But you were not a failure. And you know why you were not a failure? Because you tried again. And when you did, you failed. You failed, but you were not a failure. So you tried again. And you kept doing this till one day you did it. You walked. Nobody could help you because the sense of balance is very personal. It has to be in you. Could it be that you were very clear as a baby of what you wanted to do? And now you're not. Could it be that one thing that can empower you is to know yourself? To know that you have choices? Do you know you have choices? In your pain, in your suffering, in your confusion, do you know you still have a choice? Do you? That you have a choice. You always have a choice. And you can choose not to choose. You even have that choice. And most of the time, have you not chosen not to choose? The little masala of destiny. What is in your destiny? If you don't do anything, you are born, you will live the amount of days you will live, and then you will go back. Elements will go back wherever they came from. You'll be disassembled. When you were born, you were assembled, and then you'll be disassembled. No. When the choices have been made, and from those choices comes the gratitude because one witnesses the value and the amazing existence of this being on the face of this earth. When the eyes are open, when the heart is full, when there are no dualities, when the questions have become answers, when there is a sweetness and a serenity that dances in one's life, then peace manifests itself. And when that peace is felt, the heart overflows with gratitude. Overflows with gratitude. Find that heaven, the heaven that is in you, your heaven. Transform, awaken, enjoy, be, exist. Adore the simplicity. There's wisdom in that. There's wisdom in that. When I first came to the West, everybody was like, we don't want to hear about peace. Tell us how we can be rich. And it's such a game. I was asked, I was a teenager. I was like 13 years old. I was asked, are you rich? And I happened to be in a really good mood, and I said, yes, I'm really rich. I am really, really, really rich in the heart. Money-wise, I only had 25 pounds. That's all I could bring from India. They wouldn't allow any more. They gave everyone 25 pounds, and that's all we had. What is 25 pounds? What is 25,000 pounds? I mean, somebody could have a little news, and that could be nothing. One day you have more than you owe, and one day you owe more than you have. I mean, I just love the certainty. Just the certainty of this world is just amazing. If this kind of certainty was exhibited by my car, I would never drive it. And here, this breath comes like a clockwork. Incredibly dependable. You want to understand the definition of dependable? Think about your breath, not about your dog. Because it'll come. It is the very thing that allowed you, if you were born in a hospital, to come home. And it is the breath, if you were born at home, allowed you to stay home. Because if this breath was not coming, you were not coming home. And if this breath was not coming and you were born home, you were going to the hospital. This is how it is. It's simple. It's profound. Know thyself.